I think today is a great time to talk about the things that I feel I do very well for others, but for some reason I don't get that same treatment back. And it bothers me. I think it's ugly, it's irritating, it's annoying. And I'm going to express some of the ones that mean the most to me, but also because they mean the most to me, they frustrate me the most when it doesn't get reciprocated. And it's one of those things where I feel weird bringing this up because anytime I do something, it should be because I do it wanting to do it and not really expecting anything in return. But the problem is for certain things, depending on what you tolerate, you're letting people know how to treat you. I believe that having a high tolerance is a good thing, but I think that some people may misinterpret that as you'll tolerate bullshit, so therefore it's okay for me to do this consistently because she won't be bothered by it. She will get over it. This year, I have been particularly aggressive about calling out those things. And while I'm not proud that I'm constantly on the defensive and even attacking some people, I have been a whole lot happier than ever. So I think I'm headed in the right direction. And I think it's time because it's been a long time and it feels good to feel well. One of the things I wish were reciprocated is my speed at favors. And what I mean by that is if I do you a favor, you know for a fact that shit is going to get done fast, on time, accurately, with energy, with devotion, dedication, etc., etc. Sometimes, fortunately, I'm not someone who needs help often, but when I do, I have the expectation that the same quality of effort that I put onto somebody else's favor, that's what I'll get. But sometimes I get nothing but half-assery. Be a little bit more imaginative when it comes to problem solving, because sometimes when I'm in the midst of doing someone a favor, something may come up, but what matters is that I make the decision that means that whatever favor I'm doing gets done, and then we can sort it out when we see each other. But sometimes I find that something comes up when it's my favor, and I try to anticipate as much as possible. Hey, it's possible that this will come up. This may cost extra, or you may be asked this question. This is what you can do. This is what you should consider. This is what you can try. But sometimes some things escape me, and I would hope that you at least have a little bit of an imagination as to how to supplement for that, how to resolve that issue but still get things done. But sometimes I'm disappointed by how easy a matter was, and you let go of a really good opportunity to get it done, and then all of a sudden you didn't because you were insecure about something basic. I understand that you're the one doing me a favor, but like, imagination goes a long way. So hopefully you see where I'm coming from with that one. Answering with full honesty and deep thought, leaving no stone unturned. That is one of the things that I really wish people would reciprocate often, and that goes hand in hand with what I brought up the other day about, are people really just slow at thinking, or do you have something going on, or am I not expressing things with full context? Which I like to think that I'm detailed. I like to think that I'm pretty clear with the things that I say, but I understand that results may vary. Sometimes I bring something up and I'm hoping that I'm going to get a lot of food for my brain, but then you keep everything so simple, basic. It's like I have to keep digging and digging to bring things out of you, but I don't. Are you just the wrong person to have a conversation with, or do you lack the skill? Even though a lot of things in life do not require deep thought, if you're hanging out with someone and you know that this person is social and curious, why wouldn't you indulge in this topic? Because you will be the same person who turns around and complains about feeling lonely or feeling bored with other people. And I'm thinking, well, what do you do to keep that flame alive when you're socializing. To me, being able to deeply think about some things, even if it's something that does not require deep thought, deep thinking is something that I find intriguing, entertaining, and it's just important. I'm not saying I'm the best at it, and I know that I'm not the best at it because I have limitations. And sometimes I feel frustrated that some people legit don't have time to think in their day. It leaves me thinking, how much are you missing out on just because you don't explore something a little further? Making me a priority in the same manner that I make you a priority. If you ever find yourself hanging out with me, you become the center of my universe. No cell phone can distract me. No noise can startle me. No state of my mind can keep me from being present for you at that moment. But in recent times, I have been hanging out with some folks who very clearly I'm hanging out with them. We're going over things. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that they seem to be kind of like absent-minded, or they become very easily distracted by things in the environment. So what I do is I say something and then I circle back around to the matter. They claim, or they try to tell me that I never mentioned that before. And I'm like, yes, I did, because I was at this place and it was at this time and the sun was shining. This is what you were wearing and this is what you were drinking, so on and so forth. My favorite part about this is that they're absolutely flabbergasted. That's when I let them know, hey, it's okay to be stressed. I get it. I go through it too. At least become aware. And if I'm the one who's making you aware, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Look at that as an opportunity to become a better version of yourself, so that you don't feel that emptiness that you keep complaining that you feel in your day. This is more so for the people who complain that they really find it that they don't have anyone to hang out with who really like feeds their soul. And I'm thinking, I feel like that person is there with you and for you very often, but you just don't realize it. Have some more control over that. Being thoughtful, I don't think I should even have to mention that, but I find that being thoughtful and putting your mind into something and making it meaningful for the recipient really goes a long way. For instance, my example of being thoughtful was when we were having a little bit of a gasoline crisis. I remember thinking about my mom immediately. I thought, okay, the car that she drives is a little bit of a gas guzzler. So if we're going to experience this crisis and I know she's away at work, why not give her a call and find out what the status is on her car, and then take a little bit of time to put her vehicle up to date along with mine, and that way I save her some potential stress. Or say, if you know that some specific product that I like, say my favorite water is running low, be like, hey Zam, do you have this water left at home? Do you have plenty? Because I noticed that we're freaking running low. And I will be like, oh, well, shit, thank you so much for looking out for me. It really means a lot. So that's what I mean by being thoughtful. I find that everybody is so like stuck in their own universe. Like, let's start looking out for one another. And there's people who I treat in that manner. It's like, I know that this is your favorite coffee and I don't drink coffee, but just because I don't drink it doesn't mean that I don't want you to get around to it. So I usually grab, if it's the last one on the shelf and it's like a shelf stable kind or something, I grab it, and when I see this person, I go, this is the last of its kind. Do you need it? 99% of the time, I have made this person's day. And the other 1% was that they had gotten to it before I gave them the warning. Remembering things about me, or things that I say in general. Because believe it or not, as I mentioned a moment ago, it's also true that I may share an anecdote about something that may resurface in the near future or in the distant future. And I expect that you put some mind to it, but then as I'm going over the story, it turns out that you didn't retain anything that I said. And now here I am having to somehow try to refresh your memory or start you from scratch. And that's really frustrating because it lets me know that whatever I'm saying is either trivial to you or you just aren't paying attention. And if you aren't going to pay attention, at least let me know so that I don't waste my time. That's all I'm asking. But the only reason I bring this up is because it really pisses me off when people claim that this is the first time I am bringing something up that I know for a fact I said to you, and I remember when I said it, and now you're telling me that you have never heard of it before. That is when I get upset. And that's why I bring it up in the form of, just remember one fucking thing I say. Just one. Any one thing. At this point, that's the way I'm going about this. I have set the bar so low. Something I wish that were reciprocated is fucking politeness. Just be freaking polite. Be attentive. That really goes a long way. Having pride in your work is something that I wish were reciprocated. And I know that having pride in your work should be done for you, and that will also work out for others. When it comes to me, I want to see people who have energy and have integrity and put effort into what they do, because if you don't, someone, usually me, is gonna have to pick up after yourself. And that shit gets annoying because everywhere I go, I give my fucking best and nobody can say that I left a disaster and I hindered someone's ability to pick up where we left off. And on top of that, get to the bottom of things. If there's something that you're not clear about, something that's confusing, something that was explained to you but you still don't get it, get to the bottom of it. Because at some point, someone's gonna need your help, and you could be the one answering something that helps somebody else progress, but you don't because you half-ass your way through everything. Just have pride in what you do. And finally, I guess this is also tied in with this point. If I leave my workplace clean, and my kitchen, and that is what you inherit, and you enjoy the fact that you were able to jump straight into it, I expect the same. I expect to be able to walk into my kitchen and find it clean. I expect to walk into my workplace and find it clean. But for some reason, very often, more often than not, that's not the case. I don't know in how much of a hurry you are. There's just no reason why that cannot get done. I find that the easiest way to make sure that everything is up to date is to prevent disasters from happening, but also maintain stuff as you go during the course of the day. Like, don't leave cleaning for the very end of your day. Just do a little bit of periodic polishing here and there. And that way, when your wrapping up time arrives, you can breeze through it and it'll still be a job well done because you took the time to give it maintenance during the course of the day. And therefore, it's a mess that becomes contained. It remains contained. That's how I make sure that I conduct myself so that I don't have any excuses at the end of the day and be like, well, this mess is really big. I'm not gonna have time, so it's like a massive fuck you to the person who comes after you. Don't be that person. Alright guys, well that's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do you relate to any of the things that I'm saying? I hope that you do, because I feel like this is something that we all go through at least once in our lives, especially if you're someone who's a overachiever, high-performing employee, child, person, partner. I feel like we can all relate to some of these at some point. So now I'm saying that these are some traits that I feel I execute in a way that's consistent, in a positive way. But unfortunately, I cannot say that I consistently get the same treatment. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.